We all go through moments when things don't make sense. A rejection letter breaks us. A relationship ends when we thought it would last forever. A dream collapses right when we felt it was within reach. And in those moments, we whisper to ourselves, "Why me? Why now? What did I do wrong?" If you ever felt like this, then this story is for you. There once lived a young traveler named Aaron. He was not like other men his age. While others chased wealth, possessions, or titles, Aaron carried nothing but a small bag, a notebook, and a restless curiosity. He wasn't searching for gold or land. He was searching for wisdom. He wanted to understand why life sometimes seemed unfair, why heartbreak, loss, and disappointment visited even the kindest people. And more than anything, he wanted to know, does everything truly happen for a reason? His journey began in a small riverside village. The homes were humble, made of wood and straw, and the people had very little. Yet their laughter echoed through the air like music. Children ran barefoot, chasing each other in the mud. Women sang as they washed clothes by the river. Old men shared stories under the shade of trees. Aaron was puzzled. How could people with so little be so full of joy? He approached an old fisherman whose wrinkled face carried decades of sun and sea. "How can you smile every day when you have so little?" Aaron asked. The fisherman chuckled, handing Aaron a freshly caught fish. "So little," he repeated. "My boy, I have everything I need. Every morning, the sun rises to greet me. Every evening, the stars remind me I am alive. I eat when I'm hungry, I rest when I'm tired. I don't measure life by what I lack. I measure it by what I already have. And that is enough." Aaron wrote those words in his notebook. His heart touched, but his mind still restless. He walked for days until he reached another village where he heard the loud ringing of iron. He found a blacksmith, pounding metal with strong arms, sweat dripping down his face. Yet behind him stood nothing but half-built walls and ashes. "What happened here?" Aaron asked. The blacksmith smiled while striking the glowing metal. "My workshop burned down just weeks ago. Everything I owned was reduced to ashes." Aaron was shocked. "And you can still smile after such a loss?" The blacksmith laughed, sparks flying with each hammer strike. "If the fire had not destroyed my old workshop, I would never have built this stronger one. Sometimes destruction is the doorway to creation." Aaron wrote those words carefully. His notebook was filling quickly, but his heart was filling even faster. As the days turned into weeks, Aaron visited many more places. In one village, he met a widow raising 3 children alone. Her hands were rough from labor, and her eyes carried sorrow, yet there was a fire in her voice. "I thought my life had ended when I lost my husband," she told Aaron. "But in his absence, I found my strength. Pain taught me that love doesn't disappear. It transforms into courage, into resilience, into the will to keep going when everything inside you wants to give up." Her words stayed with him long after he left. He journeyed through forests where the trees whispered in the wind, across mountains where silence felt heavier than stone, and through deserts where each grain of sand seemed to carry a memory of those who had walked before him. Everywhere he went, he asked questions, and everywhere he went, people gave him answers. But answers were not enough. The more he heard, the more questions burned inside him. Was life truly guiding him, or was he just comforting himself with other people's stories? One night, as he camped beneath the sky full of stars, the heavens suddenly turned dark. A storm unlike he had seen before raged across the land. The winds howled like wolves. The rain poured like rivers. Thunder cracked the sky apart. His fire was extinguished in seconds, and his heart raced with fear. He clutched his notebook, the treasure of his journey, filled with wisdom from so many lives. But the rain soaked through the pages. The ink blurred, smearing into nothingness. The words, the lessons, the proof of his journey vanished before his eyes. "No!" Aaron shouted into the storm. His voice was drowned by the thunder. He fell to his knees, tears mixing with the rain. "Why, life? Why give me wisdom only to rip it away? Why make me walk so far only to lose everything I've gathered? Was it all meaningless?" As lightning flashed, he saw a lantern glowing faintly through the storm. An old monk appeared holding it high. His calm face glowed softly in the flickering light. "Come," he said, extending a hand. Aaron followed him to a cave, shivering, drenched, and broken. Inside, as the fire crackled, the monk watched him quietly. "Why do you look so defeated, young traveler?" He held up his ruined notebook, his voice trembling. "This book held the wisdom of everyone I met. It was my treasure, my purpose. And now it's gone. The storm destroyed everything I had." He leaned closer, his eyes steady and kind. "No, child. The storm destroyed only the pages, not the wisdom. Did you think the lessons lived in the ink? No, they live in you. The fisherman's joy, the blacksmith's courage, the widow's strength. Did you not feel them change you? Those lessons are already written, not on paper, but in your soul. The storm cannot wash that away." Aaron froze. The monk's words pierced his heart. In that moment, he realized the truth. Life had not been punishing him. It had been shaping him. Every loss, every twist, every painful turn carried a reason. The storm had not taken his wisdom, it had revealed where it truly lived. Months later, Aaron returned to his own village. The people gathered, curious about his journey. They asked, "What did you discover? What wisdom did you bring back?" Aaron smiled, no longer carrying his notebook, but carrying something greater. "I discovered that nothing in life is wasted. The heartbreak, the rejection, the storm, it all has meaning. Sometimes life breaks us so we can discover our strength. Sometimes it closes doors so we can find the right one. And sometimes what feels like the end is really just the beginning." He told them about the fisherman who smiled with nothing but the sun and the stars, the blacksmith who built stronger from the ashes, the widow who discovered courage in her sorrow, and the monk who reminded him that the greatest treasure is already inside you. So remember this: when life feels unfair, recall the fisherman who smiled with nothing but the sun and the stars. When everything you built is taken from you, recall the blacksmith who forged strength from the ashes. When loss breaks your heart, recall the widow who discovered courage in her sorrow. And when the storm rages, remember the monk who whispered, "The real treasure is already inside you." So the next time something doesn't go your way, don't call it the end. Don't curse the storm. Trust it. Because one day, when you look back, you'll realize that every rejection, every heartbreak, every closed door was not punishment, it was preparation. Everything happens for a reason, and the reason is always to guide you, to grow you, to prepare you for who you are meant to become. And if this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of your own strength, then subscribe to Life Lessons Library. where every story inspires, teaches, and touches the soul.